What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Physical Media, the weekly live show where we go over every single Blu-ray and 4K release that's dropping this week. Today we're talking about all the titles that are coming out tomorrow, Tuesday the 21st of May. We're almost to the end of May already, and we've got a good bit of titles to sift through this evening together. We've got some boutique labels releasing things like Criterion, Kino Lorber, Shout Factory, Arrow, all the big ones releasing stuff this week, and we even got some big studio releases putting out some upgrades, some 4K upgrades to things that haven't got them before, and even some classic 4Ks that are in some unusual packaging that you'll be able to find exclusively at your Walmart stores. So we'll get into that as well. Walmart's always doing these weird collections of films that have nothing to do with each other. So we'll talk about that as well. Like I said, we shoot this show weekly, live in front of this live audience right here, and we have a great time doing it. We'd love to have you join us and be a part of the conversation. It's always a fun time. We talk for about an hour and a half, and if we make it through all the new releases, then we talk about whatever the chat wants to, and it's always good. I always enjoy these shows, and we'd love to have you come out. Like I said, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday nights. Speaking of the live chat, let's see what everyone's up to this evening. Who's here already? Let's give some shout outs. Kyle Hartman, the first name I saw, talking about some new releases that he has already picked up. Internet User, back again. Dan's Den, Beetlejuice, all the regulars are here. Sam Fett, Henry Bidenkamp, CG Anime Fan, Kevin House, Michael Smith, Jeffrey Patrone, Ethan Edwards, and Gus Amaretti, my very excitable friend Gus is always, he's here at the beginning tonight. And Ethan Edwards says he's on time 2 straight weeks in a row. Wow. Well, I'm good on you, Ethan, for bettering yourself. I really appreciate that. You're doing great. All right. What do we have coming out this week? Like I said, some boutique releases here. Let's switch over to the second monitor and just dive right into it. Let's dive right into it. And then maybe we'll have some time at the end for some chit chat. But first, the first thing that's coming out, apparently the most anticipated release, according to Blu-ray.com, where I'm getting all this information from, is Narc 4K limited edition. This is a 4K and Blu-ray combo pack. Like I said, from Arrow Video. Arrow Video, they come through. I think they almost have everything or something come out every single week. It's usually just 1, maybe 2 titles, but they're pretty consistent. And they are all over the map with what they put out. They put out all kinds of stuff. Arrow Video used to be split up into Arrow Academy and Arrow, but now they're just one label and they release everything. They don't differentiate between their types of movies that they put out. So this is, I'm assuming, some kind of gang-related crime film, and the trail goes cold on a murder investigation of a policeman. An undercover narcotics officer is lured back to the force to help solve the case. So there you go. A crime thriller from 2002, which we don't talk about too much. That's not, the early 2000s are kind of a forgotten era as far as like boutique labels. It's usually before that. We get a lot of 90s, 80s stuff, and then early, Hollywood stuff. So this is cool. Narc with a nice little graffiti-laden artwork there on the front. You got an exclusive slipcover and a poster and some art cards. These are kind of the new standard for Arrow Video these days. They still do some slip boxes occasionally, but a lot of time they're just doing these slipcovers these days. It's available for $35 on Amazon right now. If you are a fan of Narc, there you go. That is coming out, starring Ray Liotta, by the way. I just noticed that on the cover. And then I'll skip over to this one for a second because we're going to talk about all those Walmart ones together. But I want to get a head start here. So we'll talk about this. I don't know how many people are going to be excited about this. My wife probably will be. I think she likes this director quite a bit. This is a David O. Russell film from 2013 called American Hustle. This is one of my wife's favorite directors, specifically, oh man, I'm never going to remember the name of it now. What's the movie with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence that is kind of about mental illness? Man, what is that called? She's going to kill me. Hopefully she's not watching before she goes to bed because she loves that movie. It's one of her favorite movies. But this is not that movie. This is American Hustle, which is a gangster movie. Set? What is this set? Is this set in the 70s? I am not as big of a David O. Russell fan as my wife, clearly, but it's got a star-studded cast, but I remember it being pretty mixed when it came out back in the day. But it's a steelbook, 4K steelbook release, also has a Blu-ray and digital, and it's got Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner and Jennifer Lawrence. Pretty great cast right there. Silver Linings. Thank you so much, Ethan Edwards. I could not think of it. That's one of my wife's favorite movies. And then also getting a 4K release. I'm going to jump down. I'm all over the place tonight because I want to get these in a certain order. We've got Gretel and Hansel. Gretel and Hansel from Shout Factory getting a 4K Blu-ray combo pack. This is interesting. I remember when this came out, and I think this is the first time it's getting a 4K release. I think there was some pushback that it didn't get a 4K release at the time. I think this is kind of I don't know, it's not like beloved, but I know it has its audience. I was actually interested in this when it came out just because it's based on the Grimm fairy tale. You know, right there, it literally says a Grimm fairy tale, playing like a pun, a little play on words with the Grimm's fairy tales. But I did not see this. I remember the trailer had some very cool, like iconic imagery. There was like the witch like pulling the barbed wire out of her mouth at one point. I was really interested in this when it came out. I checked the Letterboxd reviews. It's not great, but that doesn't always mean anything. You know, sometimes movies just aren't for everybody, and it might be for me, but that's a supernatural horror, obviously based on the Hansel and Gretel fairy tale from the Brothers Grimm. I'd like to check it out. I don't want to pay $33 on Amazon right now to check it out, though. I kind of want to see it first. Maybe I'll rent it. Or maybe if you guys in the chat let me know how good it is. I know there'll be a lot of people that are excited that that's finally getting a release on 4K. No slipcover, it looks like. Looks like just a standard release from Shout Factory, but it is cool that they're finally giving that its due. All right, let's go over here and catch up with the audience real quick, and then we'll jump right back into some releases. We got Paul Hay, am I pronouncing that right? Hay here in the chat, says hi there. Jeffrey Patron says he's finishing up a silent Jack Ford picture. Just pals, it's pretty good. Oh, interesting. Don't let me interrupt your movie watching experience, though. Oh, and Paul's from Melbourne, Australia. Well, hello. What the heck time is it over there? Let us know. It's gotta be completely opposite over there. But thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Dan Sten says Narc is pretty good, and American Hustle was a huge movie, but it hasn't held up on rewatch for me. Okay, so Dan Sten has kind of changed his opinion on that. Yeah, both Ethans putting in Silver Linings Playbook at the exact same time. Ethan Jagger and Ethan Edwards there. Gus says, my American Hustle arrives tomorrow and my Narc on Thursday. Sweet. So your pre-orders are already coming in. I don't pre-order as much stuff as I would like to. I need to start pre-ordering more stuff. And we've got Kevin House says Gretel finally gets first billing. Yeah, that's weird. I always wondered why they just switch. I guess just to be different, just to have a different title when you're searching for it. Put Gretel and Hansel. It sounds weird in my brain because I'm so used to saying Hansel and Gretel, and I don't know. There's not as nice of a ring to it. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into these 4K combo packs that I put in the thumbnail because I thought. It's notable. I mean, it's not that notable. Walmart does this kind of weird stuff all the time. And I think they've even done this before. I think they've even put 4Ks in DVD cases before. But they're putting 4K Blu-ray DVD combo packs in regular DVD cases. And they're like all kinds of movies. Some of them are classics. Some of them are big 80s movies. Some of them are like really recent movies. So we'll go through all of them here. And I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on this because I don't love it. I think it's kind of weird. But I'm a packaging collector. I love packaging. I love getting, if I'm going to buy a movie, I want it to get like the full treatment. I want to get a nice case. I want to get a slipcover if I can, that kind of thing. I know some people don't care about that at all, though. Some people just care about the movie, and cost is the biggest thing for them. And that seems to be what Walmart is marketing these as. There's a big sticker on the bottom that says all three formats, one great price or whatever. So these are apparently going to be pretty cheap for 4Ks. I don't know what the sticker price is going to be yet, but I don't know. I think some people might be excited about this. Some people don't care about packaging at all. I pretty much only have Blu-rays and 4Ks behind me, so these would look weird on my shelf. They'd be taller and they would stick out. Some people don't care about that though. So this is Escape from LA, 4K Blu-ray, Walmart exclusive until May 21st. It is a 4K Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, so it is all four formats. And you get it in this standard DVD case. So there's all three discs, Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. I need someone to explain. I still don't see the appeal if you have 4K capabilities of getting a Blu-ray and a DVD. I know some people don't have 4K player yet, and they need the Blu-ray, but they hope to get there eventually, so they buy 4Ks, but they still want the Blu-ray. I think I know some people like that, and some people, I don't know, maybe need a DVD for like to play it in their computer or in their certain room. Maybe they only have one 4K player and they need to play in other rooms. So I guess there are reasons, but I don't know. I would rather just get one disc myself. If you're trying to save money, I don't know why you need all 3 discs. But here you go, standard DVD case, nothing special, just your normal keep case, and you've got this Escape from LA with the standard DVD packaging poster. Let me know what you guys think of these. That one, it was probably going to sell a lot better. That's one of the most popular ones. They're also doing another 90s movie, The Hunt for Red October, 4K Blu-ray, DVD, and digital from Paramount Pictures. Are these all Paramount Pictures? I'm going to have to check that as we go through these. But there you go. Standard case, Hunt for Red October with Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery. Same exact packaging. I'm interested to see how these sell. Apparently DVD is still the highest selling format, so at least for standard stuff. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe this is good. Maybe this is, I mean, Walmart wouldn't put them out if they didn't think it was going to sell. Here is the next one. Shutter Island is getting a 4K Blu-ray DVD combo pack. If you don't have that yet, there you go. We probably don't need to open all these because they have the exact same packaging all the way across the board. They're doing Interstellar, so very different. This one's all the way from 2014, Christopher Nolan movie. Same exact kind of packaging there. Very basic, man, very basic. But I know some people don't care about the frills, so I don't know. Maybe these will sell pretty good. Here's the back. We'll show the back on one of these so you can see what they look like. These are pretty famous films, so I don't feel like I need to talk about them that much. But you just got a standard normal DVD back. No bonus features to speak of at all. It's just disc 1 4K, disc 2 Blu-ray, disc 3 DVD. Maybe there's bonus features on there, but they're not listing them on the back, which is an interesting choice. They're really marketing these to a certain kind of collector who just cares about the movies, which is cool, which is cool. Beverly Hills Cop getting another release. There you go. They do have all the similar banner at the top, so you know they're all part of the same line. No weird glow-in-the-dark slipcovers or custom artwork slipcovers like Walmart always likes to do. I'll just roll through the rest of them here because I don't need to show you the case every single time. They're all the same. That's the whole point. It's a generic basic case. We got A Quiet Place getting a 4K release from 2018. We have, is that the last one? Did I go through them? That's not all of them. Have I already gone through them all? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just those 8. Yeah, there we go. So we've got Escape from LA, Hunt for Red October, Shutter Island, Interstellar, Beverly Hills Cop, A Quiet Place, and I thought there was one more that I put in the thumbnail. It was a very weird one. There it is, Lost City. For some reason, the Lost City is in this bunch. I guess it's just Paramount Pictures that were kind of hits in the theater because this is the Lost City. I didn't think this movie did that well, but apparently it did well enough to be in this weird, wonky Walmart collection. So Lost City from 2022, very, very recent movie. Don't know why they threw that one in there, but there we go. That is it. That is all 8 of the releases that are coming out. I'm sure they're going to do another wave of this if it sells well. Let me know in the chat what you guys think of this. I'm very interested because I know there's lots of different kinds of collectors, and it's probably going to be popular with a certain niche of our collecting base. All right, here we go. We've got Big AI. Best part of Monday is getting to watch your show live. Love you, brother. Keep us entertained. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I don't say this to just blow steam up. I don't know what that metaphor was supposed to be, but is it blow smoke up here? Yeah, it's blow smoke. Anyway, I don't say this for that. I just say this because I actually do mean it. This is one of the best times of my week too. Starting the week off, keeping up with the movies and chatting with you guys feels really good, and I have a great time doing it. Let's see. Scott Seitz says hello from Ohio. Hey, welcome. Got people from all over the place this week. Michael Smith being a little more honest than I was willing to be. David, DVD cases suck. Why would people want that? Yeah, I'm not a big fan, but yeah, they're out there. And I'm hoping that someone in the chat will be one of those people. I'm hoping someone will come here and speak up. I'm hoping my thumbnail infuriated somebody and they want to come and speak their piece on this thing. Dan Stens says Escape from LA, a later day Carpenter mess with some horrendous CGI that I still kind of enjoy. Oh, well, that was a mixed bag of a review. Senior Sticks is here, says hi, DJ. Thank you. Welcome. Dan Stan says some people are just addicted to multiple formats. Yeah, I guess so. I've never been one of those people. I kind of just want the best that I can get, and then I'm happy. I don't really need the ones before that. Senior Sticks is here. I already read that. Big A. Some people like to future-proof their collection, and some people still love the size of the cases. Yeah, that's what I imagine. I imagine it's like nostalgic for people. I started collecting, I mean, I had a couple DVDs, but I pretty much started collecting with Blu-ray. So I don't have nostalgia for those DVD cases, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that were collecting forever, and then when they switched to the, what are these tiny little Blu-ray cases? These look stupid. So I'm sure it's just whatever you grew up with, whatever you started with. Ethan Edwards says, I think people want Blu-ray, thinking 4K players may be hard to find years from now. Okay, so maybe keeping it safe, like Big AI said, future-proofing their collection a little bit. Dan Stead says, the Hunt for Red October cover is so bad. Yeah, they're not great. None of these covers are really great. Shutter Island is just a picture of Leo there with like a blue cloudy background. But I guess that's all part of it. That's kind of what DVD cases look like. We've gotten back to, with like boutiques and stuff, we've gotten back to putting original posters. But for a while, like in the early 2000s, like every DVD case was not the original poster. It was like some crappy Photoshopped, thrown together poster for the DVD release. Ethan Jiger. I've noticed a lot of these style of releases on Amazon for fairly cheap, around $10. Not a bad bargain for digital and 4K. I agree, not needing the regular Blu-ray and DVDs, LOL. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, if these are like close to $10, I don't think it lists the price because they're not going to be available on Amazon. Oh, it does. Wow, it does. So you can, wait a second. Interesting. So I just noticed this. Not all of them are exclusive to Walmart. The Interstellar one here is available on Amazon, $10.99. So that is pretty significant. That's pretty huge. Like 4Ks these days are going for like 35, sometimes more than that, like 35 bucks at least, 30, at least 30. You're not going to find one for under 30 when it first comes out. These are $10.99. So that's pretty crazy. Apparently DVD cases are that much cheaper to print. So that is a huge advantage for people who just want the movies and don't care about the packaging. $10.99 is pretty huge. That's like Black Friday prices on release date. So that's pretty cool. None of these are new releases though. They're all like older movies, so it's not that big of a deal. But if we get to a place where they start releasing like brand new 4Ks for $10.99 with these cases, that would be insane. That would actually be pretty noteworthy. What do we got here? Slipmaker. I watched Shutter Island in the theaters and a girl asked to hold my hand when it got scary, and I did, but never suspected it was anything other than platonic. Realized years later that I fumbled that. Oh, been there, my friend. Been there. There were apparently, yeah, you get a wife and you start telling you both start sharing stories about your youth, and apparently there was a lot of opportunities that I did not seize in the moment. She tells me that, yeah, you should have done that because I was a loser. I don't mind it. I don't mind saying that Grace is my first girlfriend, and we got married. So I did not seize any opportunities, man. So don't feel bad about that. It's scary to take that jump, even though there's no point. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing. You embarrass yourself in front of a girl you're never going to see again. Who cares? I mean, now, if I knew what I knew now, obviously I wouldn't have been as an anxious mess when I was a teenager. Big AI, $11 for 4K plus digital is a pure steal. I'm saying, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to do it because I'm a weirdo who cares about packaging. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will scoop these up, especially like people who still collect DVDs. This is like a steal. Dan's Den says The Lost City wants to be the romancing the Stones of the 2010s, but forgets why that movie works. Okay, interesting. I could see that being the pitch in the pitch meeting. Nerdy with Autism. Hello, DJ. I will be seeing If, aka Imaginary Friends movie with my parents at the drive-in tonight. Awesome. You know, I've still never been to a drive-in, ever. I've still never been to a drive-in. That's something I still want to do. It's on my movie watching bucket list. I just went to the theater twice this weekend. The same theater, Plaza Theater in Atlanta, if you're familiar, and we saw The Wizard of Oz with the kids. We took the kids on Saturday to see The Wizard of Oz, the whole family. It was a great time. And then yesterday, my wife and I went back to the theater without the kids, and we saw A Brighter Summer Day. They're doing a whole like expose on Edward Yang films this month. They're showing Yi Yi in a couple weeks as well, and we got to see Brighter Summer Day, all 4 hours of it in the theater with no intermission, which is great. I like seeing those longer movies in the theater so I can stay focused and not be distracted by my phone and everything else. So that was really cool. I've not been to a drive-in theater though. I really need to do that. Slipmaker says there are rumors A Quiet Place will be haunted Oh, wow, will be a haunted house this year at Universal's Horror Nights, but I can't imagine the film's signature silence would lend itself to a house where everyone is screaming. Yeah, that doesn't really seem like the right theme for a haunted house. Because the monsters are all hidden the whole time. What are you gonna do? Just have like monster sounds? That's really weird. You're spot on with that. CG Anime Fan, the DVD packaging for the 4Ks looks good, but it's hard to tell them apart from releases that just have DVDs. Yeah, you got to go to that little skinny banner up at the top. That's the only indicator that you're going to have. What does this mean? What does this mean? Jeffrey Patron, Steamboat DJ on the live stream boat. Oh, okay. I thought, whoa, you scared me for a second. I thought I was like cutting in and out and sounding terrible or something. Oh, we found one. We finally got one. Okay, here it is. Kevin House, I actually do prefer DVD cases. I prefer how the larger spines look on my shelving. See, there it is, guys. They exist. We have found one. Thank you so much, Kevin, for volunteering as tribute. And I actually know what you mean. I'm so hypocritical because I like when these releases, like these boutique releases, will make like these big deluxe digibooks or these slipcases that are a little taller or bigger. I've talked about a couple of releases back there in the past that they are, but for some reason, just the standard jewel cases when they're a little tall. I don't know what it is. There's something, I guess it's just what you grew up with, like I said earlier. But yeah, lots of people are talking about this in the chat. I'm gonna jump back and go over some new releases because I don't want to get too far behind. But yeah, real quick, I'm going to read this one. Henry Biden Camp. So disappointed when Criterion eliminated the dual packaging because of complaints of slightly increased in cases. Okay, so Henry's a big fan of the dual packaging. So let me know why. Let me know why you want the 4K and the Blu-ray, or the Blu-ray and the DVD more likely, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of different opinions on this. That's why I was excited to talk about this evening. Bailey Walsh, I like having the Blu-rays with 4Ks, especially if you're paying quite a lot for a 4K and just discs. Yeah, obviously, like ideally, if I was just gonna get the 4K disc, it would be cheaper. I wouldn't want to pay the same price, but yeah, that's, if you have to pay more, then you want a little bang for your buck. Sometimes also, like a lot of boutique releases will do the 4K restoration and mastering on the main movie, but they won't do that for the bonus features. So you have to get a 4K disc, and you also have to get a Blu-ray disc for the supplements, which is fine. I totally understand that. I'm just talking about like these big studio releases where it's the same exact thing. There's not much supplements anyway, and you're just getting the same thing. It seems like a waste of money. It should just charge me a little less and just give me one disc. That's what I think, but what the heck do I know? All right, let's go ahead and jump back to the other screen, get back to the main page. We've been jumping all over the place tonight, but I wanted to get through all those at the same time because that was the big conversation of the night. If you have thoughts on that, keep putting them in the chat. We'll still talk about that throughout the night because that's an interesting topic all by itself. But we're going to look at some other new releases here, starting with Daydream 4K, also called Dead at Night, it looks like. Secondary title there from Blue Underground. Blue Underground, a release label that we have only talked about very minimally on this show. It comes up every once in a while. There is the logo. Not a great logo, Blue Underground. Sorry to call you out, but it looks like a water park. It looks like that should be a water park logo. But here we go. We got a 4K HD and Blu-ray combo pack. Love the artwork. The artwork looks awesome. Whatever the artist is who did this artwork. A horror thriller drama from 1974. Been watching a lot of 70s movies this month. We're still in the midst of Musical Mania, or not Musical Mania, Musical May on the channel, which may not have been a good idea. We're kind of losing some subscribers left and right this month. I know a lot of people are not big musical fans, but don't worry. We'll talk about a lot of other movies here very soon, but I'm enjoying Musical May. We just watched through a couple 70s movies. We watched All That Jazz, which is amazing. I'm so glad I finally checked that one off the list. Also Cabaret from the same director, and I think a couple other 70s movies we watched recently. So it's been great. We've been watching a lot of cool stuff. But this is a horror film from, I'm not sure where it's from. It's got, let's see, what language is it in? It has French and Spanish subtitles, so I'm not exactly sure where it's from. But yeah, it is a horror film from the 70s, so getting into that little dirtier, grungier era of horror. And it seems like a very low, under-the-radar release from Blue Underground. And then we also have, this is exciting, this is actually really cool. So Meet John Doe from Classic Flicks, which is another very small label. I'll switch over here so you can see what I'm talking about. There it is, Meet John Doe. This is a Frank Capra film starring Gary Cooper and Barbara Stanwyck. This is a pseudo Christmas film. It takes place around Christmas time. I don't think it's like that Christmassy, but we actually started watching this last Christmas season, and for whatever reason, I think we started too late, or we couldn't finish it. We got like 20 minutes in maybe. We had to stop for some reason. We didn't get to go back to it, and I was very upset that we didn't get to finish it, but it worked out because now I can get this Blu-ray release and we can watch it next December. I love Frank Capra, one of my favorite directors. He's directed the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And I love Barbara Stanwyck, and she's been in 3 Christmas movies. Like I said, this is not the most Christmas movie. Her other 2 are Christmas in Connecticut is a great comedy from that same time period, the 40s. And also she is in Remember the Night. Remember the Night is another wonderful Christmas movie that has an incredible indicator slipcase limited edition release. If you haven't picked up that yet, check that one out. So this will complete the Barbara Stanwyck Christmas trilogy. I am definitely going to be picking this one up so we can finish that this year. I'm excited about that. I'm trying to get as many Frank Capra movies as I can. He's underserved in the physical media community. He needs more stuff to be released. Thunderheart is getting a Blu-ray release from Sony Pictures in 1992, my birth year. So that's pretty cool. It says, a nation within a nation, a secret within a man. He came to investigate a murder and uncovered a mystery within himself. Wow. Interesting. Val Kilmer starring in this 1992 film. Big Val Kilmer era in the 90s. This is a crime mystery thriller. Interesting. All right, well, there you go. Thunderheart, Sony Pictures. I know Sony Pictures, very famous for their great restoration, so hopefully they did a good job on that one if you've been waiting for that for a while. Another 90s film, tons of 90s films this week. Island of Dr. Moreau getting a Blu-ray release. Now this was on my radar last year. We did a Criterion Corner podcast discussion of the Island of Lost Souls, which has a Criterion release, obviously, and it was a great discussion with Connor. I really enjoy that movie. That's one of my favorite horror movies from that era. And then I had found out while I was doing research for that movie that there was a 90s adaptation as well. And they used the right name. They used Island of Dr. Moreau instead of Island of Lost Souls. And it is apparently not great. It's apparently pretty rough and it looks pretty silly. I don't know why the Beastmen have machine guns and a bomb. I don't know what is going on. This seems like the most 90s adaptation ever. I kind of like the case besides what's going on, but I like the artwork. The collection at the top looks pretty good. This is also starring Val Kilmer. This is like I said, this is a Val Kilmer-sance here. We've got tons of stuff coming out with Val Kilmer in it, even though this one I don't think is very great. But maybe it's a cult classic. Maybe it's got its fan base, but it's Island of Dr. Moreau. You know what you're getting into. At least I think I do. I don't know. Maybe I don't because there's like weaponry in their hands. And let's go ahead and do one more here. Actually, I think that's a good place to stop because we're going to go into Kino Lorber next. Let's hold off on the Kino Lorber and we'll catch up with the chat here a little bit and then we'll dive into those Kino Lorber releases. What are people saying in the chat? Holy smokes, I'm way behind. 123 Rock Fan. I just got my first couple of Arrow video Blu-rays today. Ringu and Donnie Darko. Congrats, man. I remember my first Arrow video release. It wasn't that long ago, actually. I just really got into them the last couple of years after Criterion. I think that was my second. I think I started with Criterion, then I branched off into Arrow. And now I'm a lost cause. I collect way too many labels at this point. Kevin House. A friend and I saw a double bill of 1976's King Kong and 1978's Superman at a drive-in theater. That sounds really cool. I don't love that King Kong movie, but seeing Superman in a drive-in would be really cool. Jason Forrester, DVD cases are just as flimsy, if not worse, than the Eco Blu-ray cases. No thanks. Yeah, they're super flimsy. That's why they're cheap. That's why they're $10.99. What do you? I guess that's the appeal. Ethan noticed that the 4K of Trainspotting Criterion is $30 on Amazon, and it's glow in the dark. I've never seen the movie, but thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, that is a very divisive packaging. Beware bringing that up online anywhere, because that is a hated packaging from Criterion. I don't know why people hate it so much. I think it's a different size, and it's like a digipack. Some people don't like digipacks, but That's a thing. People go crazy online about that packaging. But if you think it's cool, go ahead and grab it because you can probably find a bunch of them on eBay actually. Let's see. Dan's Den, Death Dream, aka Dead at Night, an early Bob Clark film who later made Black Christmas, Porky's, and A Christmas Story. Oh wow! Holy, I didn't even realize that Black Christmas and A Christmas Story were by the same director. That's really cool. I need to get around to Black Christmas. That's a Christmas movie that I still have not seen. What else do we have here? Oh, Nerdy with Autism. What's your favorite movie in your blue colors? Okay, so last week, I think it was last week, Nerdy with Autism asked me what my favorite green one was. Blue is way harder. I wish you hadn't gone to blue because blue is so many. I don't think I can take the time to jump back there. If you're saying favorite release, that would be easy. It would be that blue trilogy right back there, the Three Colors trilogy, one of the coolest box sets I own. Very, very nice. But you said favorite movie. But blue is one of my favorite movies. I love Blue, which is the first one in that trilogy. Man, favorite movie. I guess I'm wearing my lav mic so I can turn around and look. Oh, what do we have? Close Encounters is really good. Let's see. Anything else? Hugo, one of my favorite Scorsese movies. Unbreakable. Into the Woods I really like. Man, this is too much. This is too many movies. There's lots of Pixar back there. Blue might be it. Blue might take it. What else do we have back here? Let's see. We've got the Great Green Lantern. I probably will say blue now that I'm looking at it. Meet Me in St. Louis is in the blue section though. That's really high up there. Whew. I'm on the spot. I don't want to take too much time. I'm going to go with blue from the Three Colors trilogy. That's a good answer because I love the movie and I love the box set, and it's also blue as well. So that's my answer for now. Don't quote me on that, but for this live stream, that's what I'm saying. Internet user says really liked Meet John Doe. Yeah, I was liking it. We didn't get to finish it. Kevin House, my friend Jay credits Meet John Doe for sparking his love for old movies. Capra had a difficult time deciding what he wanted to do with the ending. Oh, don't spoil anything. Because I'm still looking forward to watching that. It's interesting that you say that Meet John Doe was your friend's kickoff for old movies. For me, that actually was, I think, Christmas in Connecticut, I believe. Or maybe it was either Christmas in Connecticut. No, wait, I think it was. It was probably originally It's a Wonderful Life. So I wasn't really into old movies. I was a very different person just 4 years ago. When I started this channel was really when I started getting into classic movies. I've told the story before, so I'll go through it really quickly. But I loved Christmas movies. I always loved Christmas movies. We watched a ton of Christmas movies as a kid. I didn't see It's a Wonderful Life until Grace showed it to me after we were married, and fell in love with it. I thought it was amazing. That was really the first. I mean, I had seen some black and white movies here and there, Citizen Kane and Dr. Strangelove and stuff like that. But It's a Wonderful Life was this blew my mind. It's this is a black and white movie can be my favorite movie. This is amazing. So I started watching. We had TCM. It was a combination of watching that and trying to find other Christmas movies that I hadn't seen. And also HBO Max had just came out and they had all those TCM movies on there, and I was just scrolling through all those. So I started watching older Christmas movies like Christmas in Connecticut and other black and white Christmas movies. And then I transitioned into High Society, which is a musical remake of the Philadelphia Story, which I've now seen and I like a lot better. But at the time I was like, oh, this is fun. This is Bing Crosby, High Society. I had already seen White Christmas, which is another Bing Crosby Christmas movie. So I just started going through TCM and watching this, going through HBO Max and watching those TCM movies. And then I got into Criterion after I met Connor and we started talking about that. And then I just ran with it and never looked back. But yeah, I think it was probably Christmas in Connecticut, High Society, and It's a Wonderful Life that really got me into classic movies. Everybody says, and this is something that Connor always says, everybody says, or not everybody, but a lot of people say black and white movies just aren't for me, or silent movies just aren't for me, classic movies just aren't for me, but you just haven't seen the right one yet, because there's one that will turn you into a fan, and you just have to give it a chance, because once you see that one, you'll never be the same. Michael Smith says, DJ, have you seen Lost Horizons, lesser known Capra? I have not seen Lost Horizons from Frank Capra, but there is a beautiful Digipack release that is very similar packaging It's actually exactly the same. It's an identical digibook to my release of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington back there. So I do want to get Lost Horizons. It's a little pricey these days. It's out of print now, but I do want to grab that and watch that pretty soon. What else is in the chat here? Lots of people here. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream tonight. Dan's Den says, Island of Dr. Moreau, another Kilmer, a noted disaster. Yeah, that's what I've heard, unfortunately. I love that story. I've read the book. I'm a big fan of H.G. Wells's science fiction novels, and that's a really good one. I hate that that one didn't turn out so well. Other people talking about Capra films. Ethan Edwards, Capra also made Harry Langdon's best films, The Silent Comedian. And Ethan Edwards says Lost Horizon looks beautiful on Blu-ray. Sweet, I gotta go ahead and get that one. I've been buying other things this month, like musicals and some other stuff, but I need to get back to picking up those digibooks. I got in a digibook kick last month when I did my top 10 digibooks releases. Speaking of, I also filmed a follow-up to that video with my top 10 digipack releases. That's already recorded and edited and exported. I just got to throw it up with a thumbnail, and that'll be up tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that video if you want to check that out. If you're interested in just some oddities in my collection, some interesting digipacks that I want to talk about and share just in case you haven't seen them. So that video will be up soon. Another physical media packaging video for those of you who are fans of those. But let's go ahead and jump back into the new releases. One notable one that I actually missed here that's coming out, and it is a Walmart exclusive. It is the Untouchables, another 4K Blu-ray DVD combo pack with the standard case. That looks like it is kind of the original poster, so that's fun. And then, like I said, we'll jump into the Kino Lorber releases here. So we've got the first one is called Back from the Dead, a 1957 horror movie. Interesting. A newly married young man is possessed by the evil spirit of her husband's deceased first wife. The possessions turns her into a scheming killer who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. I've noticed there's a lot, like 50s there's a lot of like dead wives, dead husbands coming back as ghosts. That seemed to be like a really big deal in the 50s. That's kind of what we could do in horror in the 50s, is like marriages and revenge, a lot of revenge thrillers in horror. So She Lived to Destroy, and Back from the Dead. This is awesome. I love this artwork. Kino Lorber always kills it with their artwork. I don't know who they get to do their artwork. I don't know if they have like some go-to artist that they always use, or if they just use different people every time, but that looks awesome. And it has a slipcover, if you're a big slipcover fan, and it is only $17.50. It's not a 4K, it's just a Blu-ray, so a 50s horror film, Back from the Dead. It also is called Bury Me Dead, apparently. There's a secondary title there. So that's really cool. You guys know I'm a big fan of that era of horror. I like the 50s. We've also got from Kino Lorber, Philo Vance. Is it Philo Vance or Philo Vance? Collection on Blu-ray. 3 movies from 1929 to 1930. Woo, that's a mouthful. William Powell, 3 movies here. We've got the Canary Murder Case, the Green Murder Case, and the Benson Murder Case. Interesting. So these are all featuring the same character, I'm assuming. He's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot type character, solving cases. This is great. I love this era of like mystery. It looks like a little noir influence here. Maybe not. No, this is all the way back in the 30s. This is early. This is very cool. This is the biggest stuff that I like from Kino Lorber. I know a lot of people get excited when Kino Lorber puts out like later 80s and 90s stuff, but I love their early stuff, and this looks awesome. I love the slipcover on this. I love when they do collections. I recently found that other early talkies collection at Half Price Books from them, and this is that same era. This is really cool. Actually, let me know if these films are any good, because I love everything about what it looks like and what it sounds like. It looks like they're based on some detective novels, and they're Pre-Code, which I love. We've been watching, my wife has become the biggest Pre-Code movie fan. She loves Pre-Code. We've been enjoying the Marx Brothers box set lately, the Aero Academy Marx Brothers set. I have been so enjoying that set. We've watched 3 of them. There's 2 films left in that set. Really enjoying the Marx Brothers. The stuff you could say in 29 and 30 and 31 was insane. I hate the stupid Hays Code, man. It messed everything up. But those movies are great. Next, we've got Daisy Miller, also coming out from Kino Lorber. It's called a special edition. I don't know why. It looks the same as all their other releases. And it's got a slipcover. Maybe that's what makes it special. It has a slipcover. Daisy Miller. There you go. That is a very simple, clean release. I don't know much about it. It is a romance drama period piece from 1974. So more 70s films. That seems to be the theme of this month, this week at least. And there you go, you got a romance. So Kino Lorber, like I said, they put out so much stuff and they touch every genre of film. We've already got a horror movie from them. We've got some detective, like noir, early noir, almost noir movies from the 30s. And now we've got a romance drama from the 70s. So we're all over the place, all over decades and all over different genres. Do we have any other Kino Lorber? Here we go. Another one from Kino Lorber called Big Man on Campus. That's actually pretty funny because I was just reading, so I'm reading to my kids. We're reading through the original Stan Lee, Steve Ditko run of the Amazing Spider-Man comics. We just started the Lizard issue today. They're big Spider-Man fans. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so they wanted to read those. Connor actually got my son this kind of omnibus of classic Spider-Man comics, a nice hardcover edition. So thank you, Connor. We've been reading through that, and also we read it on the iPad because they love clicking through and sliding through the panels. But anyway, the reason I brought it up was because there was this like acronym that they're like, this is one where Flash Thompson gets kidnapped by Dr. Doom, and he comes home and tells this big story about how he beat Dr. Doom by himself. And some guy was like, wow, Flash, you sure are the BMOC now. And then his little asterisk, and at the bottom of the page it says, asterisk, Big Man on Campus. And I'm very thankful that they explained it because I had no idea what that meant. But here's the movie Big Man on Campus. This is not from the 60s, written by Stan Lee. This is from the 80s, late 80s, 1989. Guess who's back? What on earth is going on here? Looks like it's Tacky Tuesday here. The Hunchback of UCLA. Interesting. What is going on here? I don't know what this is about. It's a comedy fantasy movie. Adventures of a college wise guy and his friend, a modern day Quasimodo, who lives in the UCLA bell tower. That actually seems pretty fun. I don't know if it's any good, but there you go. Like I said, all over the place, Kino Lorber. Now they're doing an 80s comedy. So they're running the whole gamut with their releases this week. Do we have one more Kino Lorber release? I think we do. Here it is, The Lawyer. From 1970, just a straight up drama. So they hit horror, they hit mystery, they hit comedy, they hit romance, and now they hit drama. This is The Lawyer, starring Barry Newman, Diane and Kathleen Crowley. Wow. Again, artwork is on point with Kino Lorber. They got great artwork all the way across the board. Love the look of that one, and haven't heard of it, but I'm assuming it's about a lawyer. So there you go, The Lawyer from Kino Lorber. 5 releases. Maybe we'll get to some more here in a second, but I think that's everything they're dropping. They drop 4 or 5 releases every single week, so Kino Lorber's always killing it. Very impressed with their output. It's insane what they do. They are one of the hardest working boutique labels out there. What else do we got here? WI Watch Guy, I recommend Thunderheart to you a few months back when you were talking about birth year movies. I think it's good and still holds up. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I remember when we talked about 1992. That's cool. Well, now it's got a Blu-ray release, so I have no excuse. Internet user, you should check out the production history of The Island of Dr. Moreau. It is something. Okay, so that's one of those like torrid histories of a film that kind of just went out of control. Ethan Edwards says, when Island came out, all anyone talked about was how fat Brando had gotten. Oh, wow. Well, that's sad. What else do we have here? Kevin House. Your love and respect for old movies is one of the things I appreciate most about you and Connor. Oh, well, thank you, man. Like I said, it's all very recent. I wish I had grown up. Like, I wish I had been lucky enough to grow up. That's what I'm trying to do for my kids, is give them an appreciation of it early, so they don't have to wait until they're 25, 26 to get into classic film. 123 Rock Fan began watching classic movies after taking a film class in college, got away from watching them for a while, and then the start of the pandemic made me start again while in quarantine. That's exactly the same time. I was also in quarantine when HBO Max came out. So yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you got back to it. I also took some film classes in college and got away from it and came back. So that's very similar. That's really cool. Kevin House says, I first saw Capra's Lost Horizon on the big screen at a free showing at Denison University in Granville, Ohio in the 90s. Oh, cool. I got to get to that one. I need to put that towards the top of my list. First, I need to watch Mr. Smith Goes to Washington because I still haven't seen that yet, which is a crime. Let's see. People talking about the Philo Vance detective stories a little bit. Jeffrey Patron says, I've only seen the Kennel Club murder case, and I dug it. Kevin House says, Kennel Club murder case is probably the best known File of Vance film. Love that cover. Cool. So I'm going to check that one out first. Bailey Walsh, I totally agree. There is at least one insert category here, movie for each person. You just have to actually explore. Black and white is always such a weird exclusion to me. People make films in black and white still today. Yeah, it can be tough for people. I don't get it. I mean, I guess I get it. It's just not what you're familiar with. Different pacing for people. Some people aren't used to that kind of pacing, but yeah, you gotta explore, like you said, and just find the right one for you, because it's out there. There's tons of movies. 123 Rock Fan, it's hilarious how the Hays Code made it mandatory to automatically kill main characters if they did something immoral in the film. Yeah, Groucho Marx would have been killed instantly. His first appearance. Henry Bidenkamp, Marx Brothers are my favorite comedies after the three silent masters, Chaplin, Keaton, and Lloyd. They're pretty good. They're pretty great. And they're all different. And I hate the fact that I was watching a documentary on the Marx Brothers after one of the movies a couple nights ago. I didn't get to finish it, but I started it because we had a little time left before bedtime. And they were talking about how Zeppo was actually really funny and enjoyed like doing comedy as well, but they needed a straight man in their movies. So you've got Groucho and Harpo and what's his name? I'm not going to remember I know it's the Italian one. What is his name? Anyway, you got those three, and then you got Zeppo, just the boring straight man. Every single time he shows up, it's so sad. We just watched Animal Crackers, and he only shows up like twice. He does nothing. So that's a bummer that if he really was as funny as his brothers and he never got to do anything, that's pretty sad. But I love their chemistry together. I think they're all great. Bailey Walsh, Pre-Code is so great. I also got really into that period, particularly last spring, but it has continued on since then. Yeah, we really enjoyed watching through the Pre-Code horror films last October that Criterion Channel had on their streaming service. They had a bunch of them, and then we have moved on to some other Miriam Hopkins films, and now we are watching some early Lubitsch, some early sound era Lubitsch musicals in the Lubitsch set from Eclipse from Criterion. We just recently watched Love Parade, which is technically like the first musical that like incorporated story with songs, like the first movie musical, and it's amazing. I don't know how Lubitsch nailed it. The first one he made, it's so good. We loved it, and Lubitsch, I mean, I should have trusted. I gotta trust in Lubitsch because he never fails us. He's always great. Let's see. Kevin House, I love the Marx Brothers, but Laurel and Hardy is my favorite comedy team. Their features, Sons of the Desert and Way Out West, are truly great. I have not seen any of Laurel and Hardy yet, which is unfortunate. I also saw that they're releasing a huge Blu-ray. I don't know if it's Blu-ray or 4K, but they're releasing, it's at least Blu-ray. It's a like huge, almost comprehensive box set of the Three Stooges, which is coming out soon. Tons and tons of shorts, like hundreds of shorts, and like also a bunch of their films, which is another comedy that I've never seen. So I need to maybe get that set. I think it's really expensive though, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it. But there's also some Laurel and Hardy box sets. There's a really coveted Laurel and Hardy box set from Kino Lorber, actually, which we were just talking about. That's out of print now and very expensive, but I'd love to get my hands on that at some point. But starting with Marx Brothers, excluding silent comedy, because I've seen a lot of those as well. All right, let's keep going here. We've got Burlesque Classics by Irving Klaw. What a cool name. This is 3 films with very hard to say names, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say that, but here we go. I'll show you up close. This is starring Betty Page. Look at this. This is really cool. I love this case. I don't know what label this is right off. Kino Cult. Okay, so this is a division of Kino Lorber. This is Kino Cult. They've got like Kino Cult. They've got Kino Classics. I love that they still kind of divide things up sometimes. Sometimes they don't, but these look really cool. These are, I'm assuming, just burlesque films. I don't think these are actual like films. But yeah, it's interesting. We just watched Cabaret, which is a great movie. Kind of, inspired and set in this time period when we were doing these kind of films. So this is a collection of numerous burlesque acts from 1950s, including strippers and cult character Betty Page introducing the acts. Very cool. I love when Kino Lorber does this, those unique things like that. So these are from 1954 to 1956, 3 separate movies, or acts as it says in the description. Kino Lorber always putting out great stuff. We've got The Wolf House coming out here from Kimstrom. It looks like it's 3 different movies. Is it 3 different shorts? Holy crap, I didn't know this was coming out. This is cool. Oh man, I've frequently been told that this is like a stop motion animation kind of thing that I would be interested in. And I didn't know this was coming out. I think this is what I'm told. I think this is what I've been told. Maybe not. I think it is called Wolf House. I'm gonna have to double check this because I think this is in my Letterboxd watch list. And I didn't know this was coming out. It's a very different cover than what they have on Letterboxd, if it is the same thing. But I love stop motion, especially like creepy horror kind of stop motion. So this looks really cool. It tells the story of Maria, a young woman who takes refuge in the house in southern Chile after escaping from a German colony. Very, very cool. I will be looking more into that as well. It's got Weather Vane, The Smaller Room, and The Witch and the Lover, 3 short films collected in this Wolf House release. I'm gonna have to add that to my Amazon wish list. We're gonna have to do that after the show tonight. We're gonna have to add some things to the wish list because there's already been 2 things that I'm very interested in. And then we will jump to the Criterion release. Way down for some reason this week. They got the Criterion release all the way down here. These are 3 revolutionary films. Oh man, and I'm gonna butcher that name. I probably shouldn't even try because I'll just embarrass myself. But here we go. I think this is actually, is this some African cinema? I shouldn't speak on things that I don't know about. There's no synopsis. Of course they give me no synopsis. All I know is that they're from 71 to 77, 3 separate movies, and they are foreign drama and maybe a little comedy. There's a little comedy in there. So there we go. That is a collection that I heard a lot of hubbub about when they announced it a couple months ago. So I know people will be excited about that. List price is $100, but you can get it right now on Amazon for $69. So 3 films there. Always putting out great stuff from Criterion. I think that'll probably just be a standard keeps case release, and I don't think that'll be a digipack, but maybe it is. It looks just like a standard case though. A couple other things coming out as I'm way behind in the chat. Thank you guys so much tonight. We've got a lot of engagement. You guys are awesome. We've got Man's Castle coming out from Sony Pictures. Another low-key Sony Pictures release that's coming out this week. Spencer Tracy, he's always great. And Loretta Young, who I don't know if I'm familiar with or not, but Man's Castle is a 1933 romance starring Spencer Tracy. That's really cool. So another early sound film from 1933. That's actually really cool. I didn't know Sony, I haven't seen Sony do a lot of that stuff. Usually it's Warner Archive doing that kind of stuff, or MGM. So that's really cool. Good job, Sony. I appreciate that. Coup de Chance from MPI Media Group is getting a release. This is a 2023 very new film. I'm assuming a French film? Oh no, it is a Woody Allen film. Wow, written and directed by Woody Allen from 2023. I didn't even know that he was still making movies this recent. Dark humor, comedy, drama coming out from MPI Media Group. There you go. So that's coming out. I bet you that was on Nobody's Bingo's card. All right, what else do we have here? I'll do one more. Beauty of Beauties from 88 Films, which is a label I don't own anything from, and we don't talk about nearly enough on here, but they put out tons of Asian cinema, and look at this. Look at that. That's just an incredible slipcover. That looks so good. 5 wins, including Best Feature Film at the Golden Horse Film Festival of 1966. So this is a 1965 film. Looks like an epic. It's 154 minutes. It is a historical drama period piece. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to click on some of these images because look at that. Well, I say I'm going to. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh, I love this era. I love this kind of, oh man, I might have to check this out. I love 60s Asian cinema. I watched, what was it? The Ballad of Narayama. This is kind of giving me Ballad of Narayama vibes, where it's kind of like kabuki theater and there's like all this like elaborate sets and everything looks like it's built on a stage and there's like all this crazy trees and everything growing everywhere, all this foliage. Kind of like Wizard of Oz. We watched Wizard of Oz this weekend. It looks like everything in the whole movie is shot inside. It's shot indoors, but it looks amazing. All the intricate sets they did, all the crazy matte paintings that they put in the background that just are all continuations of the set. I love this. I love this. And this actually looks like it's a pretty big epic, and there's a lot of scope here. You've got all these extras, and it's not all inside of a set, but you've got some location shooting as well. This looks very cool. I might have to look into this. This is an era that I really like of that kind of filmmaking. Anyway, let me get back. I'm just getting interested in everything this week, and I'm kind of getting all over the place and off track. So let me see. Kevin House, thank you, Chico. Yes, Chico is the one I was trying to say but couldn't think of. Jeffrey Patron, I'm fascinated to see what you think of Lubitsch Kukor collaboration in that one set. Yes, you had told me that the last film, the fourth film in that set, is a Kukor collaboration, which is great because I love, those are two directors that I love. So that's really cool that they collaborated on that one. Ethan Edwards says, Kino is putting out a lot of Lubitsch silent films. Interesting. I've seen some of those. I've been looking at, Indicator has some of them. I think there's some crossover, so I'm having to like do research and see if I want to get the Indicator set or the Kino Lorber set. But a lot of those I've seen, and I think I might have to do, next time Kino has a sale, I think I might have to do a Lubitsch lot, a Lubitsch binge. 123 rock fan for a while. My grandmother didn't really know about my love for classic films, so her look was as real funny after I rattled off favorite character actors from the 1930s. See, that's another benefit of watching like older stuff from other generations. You can bond with people from that generation. It's very cool. I think you got to be open-minded, and older people should be open-minded about newer films, even though sometimes it can seem like nothing's being made for you anymore. There are. You just got to branch out, and the people who are influenced by the same things that you love are putting out stuff these days, and it's great. It's great. What do we got here? Ethan Edwards says the Three Stooges are boring to me. Laurel and Hardy I like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about those. 123 rock fan. The assassination scenes in the original Scarface were really shocking. I think that was the film that encouraged the Hays Code. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know the history on that as well as I should. Henry Bridenkamp, Man's Castle is a very good Borzage film. I'm assuming that's the director. Saw this film a few weeks ago. Oh, wow. What a weird coincidence. I'm always glad to see his releases because he is very underappreciated. Okay, interesting. That's Man's Castle. That was the 1933 release that from Sony that I was really interested in. Let's see. Kevin House says another thing about that director. The Mortal Storm with Jimmy Stewart is one of my favorite movies. I'm always down for a Jimmy Stewart movie. Man, a lot of comments tonight. Thank you guys so much. I am going to, what time do we got? Okay, we're right at an hour. I think we'll be good. We got a few more to get through, but I'm enjoying talking to you guys in the chat. WI Watch Guy just ordered some of those $10.99 releases, Interstellar, Shutter Island, and The Hunt for Red October. So we'll see what they're like. Oh, awesome. Well, congrats. You are now the proud owner of 3 flimsy DVD cases, but you got them for a steal. So I hope they are everything that you dreamed them to be. Watch Guy also says, I picked up the Renowned Western set from Criterion. I wish I had them when my grandfather was still alive, as he would watch old Westerns. Oh man, that's a bummer. But yeah, I'm sure he'd be really happy that you're branching out and checking those out. I am still on the fence of which Renowned Western set to get. I know the Criterion set is the newer one. You guys let me know. The Criterion set is the newer one, but comparing the box sets, I love the look of that Indicator box set. And I might go with the Indicator one. I don't know how much better the transfers are with Criterion, if they are any better. If they're not, I'm definitely going to go with the Indicator box set because I love Indicator's box sets. They are the king of box sets, in my opinion. Up there with, I guess, Arrow Video, Arrow Academy. But yeah, I love Indicator's releases. So I'm considering getting the Renowned Westerns from Indicator, unless you guys tell me otherwise that I shouldn't do it. I think we're good. I think we are all caught up. Let's go ahead and jump back and finish these out real quick so we don't get behind. Another one for the 4K combo packs is Cloverfield. I don't know how I missed that one at the beginning, but that's another Paramount release that's getting a Oh, it's not a Walmart exclusive. You can get that one on Amazon. I've never seen the original Cloverfield. I've seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, but I've never gone back to the original. We've got a Blu-ray release of Narc, same movie that we mentioned at the top. So it's getting a 4K and a Blu-ray. We've got The Vertical Ray of the Sun getting a Blu-ray release, another Sony Pictures. So they're putting out quite a bit this week. This is an international feature. I wish there was an easy way for it to say what country these are from. Come on, Blu-ray.com. You got to tell me what country it's from so I can tell the people. But yeah, here we go. The Vertical Ray of the Sun. Apparently it's an official selection at Sundance and the Toronto International Film Festival. That's a Sony Picture Classics. They're still using that classic Sony Pictures Classics logo. I haven't seen that in a while. I've never seen it at the top like that. That's kind of weird. But there you go. Sony Pictures putting out their Vertical Ray of the Sun, which is a 2000 film. And then All the Young Wives from from Dark Force Entertainment, who we talk about here occasionally on the channel. Naked Rider, My Pleasure is My Business. Drive-in double feature. Speaking of drive-ins, someone mentioned drive-ins earlier. This is a drive-in double feature, number 22 from Dark Force Entertainment. 2 more 70s films because it's this week and we got to talk about 70s films. These are directed by Al Waxman, and these look to be some scantily, these interesting. What are these? They knew what they wanted and how to get it. All the Young Wives and My Pleasure is My Business. They knew position is everything in life. Interesting. So we're in the 70s. Because these look older, like the artwork on this makes them look like they're from like the 30s or something. But no, these are 70s. So these are full-on R-rated movies. And there's no genre information and there's no synopsis. So I can't tell you too much about the films, but it's a very cool release. Dark Force Entertainment putting out this. I didn't know about this drive-in double feature business from Dark Force Entertainment. I have to check that out. Apparently it's number 21 already. Interesting. We got a couple other stragglers here at the bottom. Tinto Brass, Maestro of Erotica Cinema 2 getting a release. So this seems like another theme we've got going on here. This is erotica from the 1990s, late 1990s. Well, all the way through the 90s, I guess. 91 and 98, 4 movies by director Tinto Brass. I remember seeing the covers for these. So this looks like it's a collection of all of them, all 4 of them in one collector's edition from Cult Epics. And then we've got a couple more recent movies here. This is Bushman from Milestone. Milestone we don't talk about nearly enough. They don't have that many. That's it. Like, look at that. That's like their whole catalog almost, right there. This is another like sub-label, partner label, somehow connected to Kino Lorber. I only have one Milestone release, but they come out every once in a while and they release some pretty great releases. This is Bushman, a film by David Schickel, which I have not heard of, but it is from 1971, of course. I swear they all get on the same page and release a theme, because this is another 70s. In 1968's Tumult, a Nigerian student in San Francisco experiences clashing cultures and elucidates society's ineptitude at living humanely. Okay, interesting. So that's a 70s film, kind of about, I'm assuming, some racism there in the 60s. We've got anything else? Pet Sematary from 2019 for some reason is getting a re-release, as well as Licorice Pizza from 2021. And then I don't think anything else. Into the Wild also getting a re-release, the 2007 movie. So there you go. I think we've done it. I think we've covered everything all over the place. With all kinds of different stuff. I'm glad we got Milestone in there. I'm glad we got Death Dream by, what was that label again? Blue Underground. I'm glad we got some of the lesser known ones. It can be a little hard to get to those when we have bigger weeks with like too much stuff going on. But this is a pretty medium-sized week, but a lot of good stuff in there from all across the map. We got Kino Lorber putting out a lot of good stuff. Sony Pictures coming in with some 3 big ones, and lots of just weird, interesting stuff. I love doing the show. These are the weeks that I really like, when there's like some undiscovered gems that I haven't even heard of, and I love talking to you guys about those in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you're most looking forward to this week, which ones you'll be picking up, which ones you're most excited about, and I'll do the same here in a second. But let's go ahead and catch up on the chat, see what people are saying here. We've got Big AI. For the people who are getting into 4K, what are some of the movies you would recommend? Great question. Probably not a great question for me, because I'm pretty new to 4K myself, but what do they call those? What do they call those 4K movies that are like theater? Oh, what do they call those? I can't even think of it right now, but the ones that you recommend that are like, you have to see this in 4K. This is like this will test your 4K setup. I don't know, I can't remember what they call those, but yeah, that's a good question. Everybody throw some recommendations Big AI's way. What are your favorite 4K titles? What do we got here? Gus, aren't the renowned Criterion 4Ks and the Indicator Blu-ray only. I don't know. I can't remember if they're 4Ks or not. Maybe so. If they are, then that's probably the one I should go with. But something about that Indicator box set really makes me want to get it. WI Watch Guy, I'll be honest, I like Westerns, but the Renowns didn't trip my trigger. Scott is good, but they're kind of dated if you ask me. And yes, the Renowned set is available in 4K with Criterion. Okay, interesting. Okay, so that might be a no-brainer like Gus says. Yeah, I know. Michael Smith says the Indicator Renowned set is long out of print and very pricey. I know, but that hasn't stopped me before. If I like it bad enough, I kind of want to get it. Thank you, Brown Bunny. Reference quality. That's what people call them. Reference quality. So everybody throw some reference quality recommendations Big AI's way. He's asking what some good ones are. And then throw me some questions in the chat. We'll finish this up. We've got about 15 minutes here. If we need to go that long. If we don't need to, we don't have to. But if you guys want to chat, we've got the most viewers here that we've had the whole time, right when I finish up. So hopefully you guys can go back and watch the rest of the show where we talked about the new releases. But let's see what other people are saying here in the chat. Dan's Den. A little bit of discussion about the Hays Code, which you talked about earlier. Maya West is generally credited with the Hays Code being enforced, but there were a number of things there. Okay, interesting. Ethan Edwards talking about the Kukor and Lubitsch collaboration that we talked about earlier. He says, that wasn't really a collaboration. Kukor didn't get along with Chevalier, and Lubitsch took over. Interesting. Okay. So it's like a Snyder cut, what the heck is that guy's name? The guy who took over for the Snyder. I can't even remember his name right now. He dropped off the face of the planet after he did Justice League. Gus says the Interstellar 1099 set is missing the special feature Blu-ray disc. Joss Whedon, that's what it was. I remembered it. Interstellar is missing the special edition Blu-ray disc. Yeah, it doesn't look like those come with special features at all. They were just listing the movies on there. I guess that's part of slimming it down and making it 1099. But some people don't care about special features. That's a good question. Let me pose that to the chat. Who actually watches supplements and special features, and who just watches the movie and don't care about that stuff? I've actually been making it a point this year to try to watch through those more, because for a while I wasn't watching the supplements, and I find that a movie sticks in my brain so much more because I watch so many movies. It sticks in my memory so much better if I live with it for a couple days and watch the supplements. I really started doing that when I got into the cinematograph releases from Vinegar Syndrome this year, where I watched Little Darlings, and then I got into all the supplements and I listened to the commentaries and lived with that movie for a couple days, like a week almost. And then I did the same thing with Red Rock West, really enjoyed that. Started doing that with some Criterion releases. Like I said, I was watching through the Marx Brothers documentaries and supplements on there. So I really like that. I'm trying to make a point to do that more often. It's tough this month because we're trying to get through as many musicals as we can. So we kind of got to move right on to the next one. But hopefully after this month, I can get right back to doing that because I really have been enjoying going through the supplements. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe some people don't care about that. And there has to be an audience that doesn't, because these 4Ks are probably going to sell pretty good from Walmart for the people who just like movies. Kevin House says, Laurel and Hardy were much more artful than the Three Stooges, but I do have an appreciation for the Stooges' hard work in roughly 200 films. Yeah, they were prolific. Like I said, that box set is tons of stuff, and I don't even think it's complete. I think there's still some stuff not included, just because they did so much stuff. 123 Rock Fan says, I recently watched Days of Heaven and Barry Lyndon. Man, those movies were... those movies were what? What are they? Tell us. I don't know what he means. Maybe he just pushed enter before he meant to. But yeah, those are two that are on my list, especially Days of Heaven. I really want to watch Days of Heaven. I need to watch more Malick. I started watching some Malick films last year, and I need to get back to it. Days of Heaven is probably the next one on my list that I want to get to. What else do we have here? There's the other end of it. He says they are jaw-droppingly beautiful. I'm glad you told us, because I was on the edge of my seat there. Kevin House, I would kill for the Remember the Night Indicator set, but I don't have a region-free player. Oh, man. Yeah, I lucked out. I got the Panasonic. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Panasonic player. And there's there's a workaround that you can do with the remote that plays region-free stuff. So that's how I was able to do that. That's how I'm able to get into the Marx Brothers set from Arrow Academy. So I highly recommend that player. What is it called? I need to tell you the exact one. I'm actually thinking of doing a theater tour video maybe this week if I can get to it. So I can talk about like my setup and what devices I recommend. I know there's a lot of people that have already done that on YouTube, but I've got some recommendations, or some people asking me to do a theater tour and actually show what the theater tour looks like. So I think I'm gonna do that, and I'll talk about my Blu-ray player and my projector that I picked, the 4K projector. Yeah, here it is. It is the Panasonic, UB 420 or 820. I think I have the 820. Yeah. The Panasonic UB820 is a fantastic player, and it is expensive, but I think I got it like $100 off. It goes on sale every now and then. Maybe wait till Black Friday. You can get it for a good price. But yeah, the Panasonic UB820, it has a little quirky button hack that you can do and play some UK titles, which hasn't failed me yet. I know some people say that there's some titles that it doesn't work for, but it's worked for every title that I've needed it for. It doesn't work for Blu-rays though. It doesn't work for DVDs though. It works for Blu-rays, and you don't need it for 4Ks because 4Ks are always region-free, or they, at least most of the time. I've even heard about some 4Ks not playing. Let's see what else we got going on here. Chevalier, yeah. Kevin House says, it's actually pronounced Chevalier. Actually, funny story, we just watched Love Parade, which Chevalier is in, and then we watched Monkey Business, which is actually my favorite of the Marx Brothers movies that we've watched so far. And there was a scene in that movie where they have his passport and they're pretending to be Chevalier, and whenever they ask them to prove that they are this person, they just bust out into apparently a really famous song that he sings a lot. I loved him in Love Parade. I thought it was great. I thought they had great chemistry, and it was really funny. Brown Bunny DJ, which movies from the Cannes Film Festival are you most excited about watching? I have no idea. I don't keep up with modern stuff. I watch mostly older stuff, mostly classic stuff, and I don't actually know what's coming out. I usually wait until after to find out what the big movies are and then try to watch them. So I don't know. Let me know, Brown Bunny, what are the most anticipated ones that are coming out this year? Because I would love to. I would love to keep up with them throughout the year instead of playing catch up at the end of the year. But yeah, I have no way. I just not even on my radar. I'd love to go someday. That's a dream. I'd love to go to any film festival. That's something me and Grace talk about a little bit. We'd love to go to that or some film festivals eventually. It's tough. We have very small kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, so can't really get away for that long. Internet user, I recently watched the Albert Brooks film Real Life. It got a lot of chuckles and grins out of me. I'll likely be getting the 4K. Yeah, they're going all in on the Albert Brooks movie in Criterion. They announced 2 of them this month. I didn't talk about the upcoming Criterion releases, but 2 Albert Brooks movie. I know some people were upset with that month's lineup, but they seemed interesting to me. I'm looking forward to them. 123 Rock fan. Have you seen Barry Lyndon and Days of Heaven? I watched them for the first time recently. Almost every scene in Days of Heaven looks like a painting. I haven't seen Days of Heaven, but that is my exact review of his other film that, of course, I can't think of right now. The New World. The New World, like my review of that was like every single shot is a trailer shot. Like it looks incredible. And it's like a 3.5-hour movie. I don't know how, like, don't you get tired of making the most beautiful cinematography ever? Like, how do you keep that up for that many shots? And it seems like watching some of the behind the scenes on that, he shot like so much footage. That's why they were able to go back and do like an extended cut, because he just shot so many shots and he wanted to put more of them in it. So I'm looking forward to Days of Heaven. And Tree of Life, all of his movies, because yeah, that was like the big awakening for Malick for me was watching A New World last year. It kind of blew my mind. Might be one of my favorite films ever. Doug Waddle, definitely watch supplements, though maybe not every single one. Okay. Yeah, I try. Yeah, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes some of those Criterion Collection releases will put tons of supplements. Actually, even I think Indicator and Arrow Video puts an insane amount of supplements. Like if you got the Conan box set earlier this year, like for Conan, not like the greatest movies of all time, but wow, they go above and beyond for their supplements. There's like 3 or 4 different commentaries on that first movie. Crazy amount of supplements. Yeah, I like watching one or two commentaries, but I don't know if I can get through all of those supplements. That's a lot. That's a long time to live with the movie. Although speaking of Conan, the commentary with Arnold and the director for the first Conan is hilarious. I don't know if they were on drugs or if it's just been a long time, but they don't remember anything, and they're just like, oh, that's cool, and they're just like pointing at cool things the whole time. It was super funny commentary. I had a couple guys over, and we watched that Conan movie as soon as the box set came out, and then we put in the commentary right afterwards, and it was hilarious. Very funny. I don't think I've never done a movie night for just a commentary, but that would be a good one. Also, the commentary on Red Rock West on the cinematograph release is a hilarious commentary as well. It is featuring Nick Cage's brother. That man has got some trauma. Like, he seems like he has like the punching bag of the family, and he has a lot that he's airing out in that commentary toward his brother and the rest of his family. And it's fascinating. He has this whole like runner through the commentary about blue-eyed people that he just keeps coming back to. That blue-eyed people, you can't trust them. There's something off about them. And the other guy who's on the commentary with him is just a film historian, and he's like not buying it at all. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Their banter is great. They clearly know each other really well, and they are very upfront and honest with each other. It's great. I've never recommended a commentary on here, but I really recommend that Red Rock West commentary. I thought it was hilarious. Kevin House says, bonus features are hugely important to me. Legacy Horror, I don't recognize that name. Welcome to the stream. Alien, The Revenant, I think he means The Revenant, and Interstellar are all top tier 4K discs, so reference quality right there. I would love to get Alien on 4K. I only have the Blu-ray. I don't have the 4K. Today's the last day to order from Disney Movie Club, and I think Alien 4K was like $10 on there. Maybe I should go ahead and grab that. WI Watch Guy, I watch special features if it's something I really like. I've only seen Interstellar once, and I'm not crazy about that. Something like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though, love all the features. Yeah. You kind of have to like the film. Although sometimes supplements can make you like a film more if you don't like it. I've had that experience before. I've watched the Criterion before that I wasn't crazy about, and then watched through the supplements and went in with different perspective and kind of liked it a little bit more. Jeffrey Patron says there's some supplements on the Criterion edition of Swing Time, I think. Oh, speaking of, thank you so much. I don't have it. It's right there on the desk over there. But Jeffrey Patron sent me a movie from my Amazon wish list. He sent me Swing Time, and I did get it, Jeffrey, and it arrived. I was going to film a short earlier today, but I didn't get a chance to. But thank you so much for that, Jeffrey. Really appreciate you sending me that, because people were kind of, not upset, but, concerned with us that we didn't put any Fred Astaire musicals on our Musical May watch list this year. And I just didn't have any way to watch Swing Time. It wasn't streaming anywhere. So thank you so much for sending me the copy. And we're going to pop that in this month. I'm definitely going to get to that because I'll shift some things around. Some of the ones on my list, people actually told me like weren't really musicals. So I might bump that around and pop Swing Time in there instead. Hopefully we can watch that one pretty soon. Thank you so much again, Jeffrey, for that. Bailey Walsh says, I love watching supplements. I don't always do it right after or soon after watching the movie, but I try to completely go through a release when it comes to watching movies in my collection. I'm gonna go into a pet peeve with supplements. A lot of people agree with me that supplements are really fun and interesting to listen to. One pet peeve I have with supplements is, and I don't know why they do this. I don't know. I guess it depends what they're made for. If the supplements are made for the movie or for the disc, I hate this. I wish they wouldn't do this, because I just watched the movie and I'm coming straight to the menu to watch the supplements after I literally just watched the movie. And then the featurettes will have like extended scenes in the featurette. It's like an interview of someone talking, and then it cuts to a scene from the movie. And then it's an interview of someone else talking, and it cuts to the scene in the movie. Like, I just watched the movie. I don't want to watch all these scenes from the movie again. And I don't know if like those features were created for some other reason, like to show some audience, to market the movie to someone, and that's why they're made. But like sometimes there'll be like brand new supplements on these boutique releases, and it's like they're cutting all the featurette would only be like 10 minutes, but it's like 25 minutes because they keep showing me scenes of the movie I just watched. That's super annoying. Maybe I'm the only one, but that always that always is a pet peeve of mine. Holy cow, I got really far behind on the chat. Oh, man. The Swiftie police are back. They say another clean week. Taylor will be happy. Yes, I did not insult Taylor Swift this week. I've been on my best behavior. Thank you for checking in. Ethan Edwards, I have the same player, had only 2 issues. Serpico and Halloween 4Ks flickered until I turned off Dolby Vision. Ooh, interesting. I've never had that happen. I had that happen early on when I bought the player, but it's because I didn't have a powerful enough 4K like specific HDMI cable to handle it. So it wasn't able to handle like the voltage or whatever it is going through the cord. I'm not a tech guy. And I had to get a new 4K, specifically 4K HDMI cable. I remember I popped in 1917 and it was like, it kept like flickering and like going black. So if you have that problem with like, not like that with like specific just tube movies, but if you have that problem like across the board with your 4K player, you probably need a 4K HDMI cable. A nicer one too. Try to get one that's a little bit more expensive. Jeffrey Patron, supplements can be exceptionally informative and provide a degree of context, which I enjoy. Sometimes they can come across as flat, but generally can be worthwhile more often than not. And I would love to do a video at some point like of my favorite supplements, my favorite bonus features, but I would just have to do so much research for that video. It would be a lot of research to do. Let's see. Big AI, watching your show and cooking dinner is the best part of Monday night. Hey, oh, interesting. So am I on your phone, like on the counter right now? I hope the acoustics are coming in good off the microphone. Watch Guy, one thing I will say is that while I get excited, I do that all the time, by the way, is anytime I'm walking around the house, I have my phone playing something. So I get it. I wouldn't play myself though. I wouldn't be entertained by this, but I'm glad you are. While I get excited for deleted scenes, I generally understand why they were deleted. Yeah, I don't know. That's another good point. I don't often after watch the deleted scenes, like really wish they were in the movie. Sometimes you get one scene, you're like, oh, that was great. Why did you cut that out? But yeah, that's a great point. Ethan Edwards, sounds like you have the box set. A Night at the Opera is the other greatest Marx Brothers film after Duck Soup. It was Warner Archive Blu-ray. I do have the box set. Night at the Opera is not in it. It is specifically their movies at another studio. So it starts with Coconuts, Monkey Business, or Coconuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, and then Duck Soup. So I do have Duck Soup, and I've heard that's like the best one, so I'm saving that one for the end. We have so far watched Horse Feathers, Monkey Business, and then Animal Crackers. I mean, went in that order, which is kind of probably not the best because we went backwards, and we can kind of see that they're getting better as they go. But we're going to watch Coconuts, was the first one, and then we're going to go to the end and watch Duck Soup. Save that one for the end because it's supposed to be the best. Bailey Walsh, I just got a 4K region-free player last month. Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm so glad I can watch whatever in my room and not have to go downstairs to work around my brother being on the TV with the 4K and region-free players. Sweet. That's exciting. Yeah, I didn't go the 4K region-free player route. It seemed like too much. Like you had to send it off to somebody and they had to like do special modifications to it. So I just went with the UB820 from Panasonic so I could, get around the region-free thing by myself without having to get it modified. Kevin House, 1932's Love Me Tonight is the greatest Maurice Chevalier Jeanette MacDonald musical. You'll find it in many lists of the greatest musicals ever made. Interesting. I'll have to add that to my list. I love that pre-code era, like I've been saying. Watch Guy, LOL, I still can't see you watching Conan. Oh yeah, we had a great time watching Conan. It was a lot of fun. I love fantasy and specifically sword and sorcery. No, I love Conan. We've actually been watching a lot of fantasy stuff. We watched Conan recently, and then I had the same group of guys over, and we watched Flash Gordon, which was a lot of fun. Flash Gordon is interesting. It didn't quite reach Barbarella levels for me, but I liked a lot of things about it, including that opening title sequence. That's an all-timer. That opening title sequence is amazing. We also watched Dragon Slayer, which has the new 4K Steelbook release from last couple years. Was it last year or the year before? We've been watching a lot of fantasy stuff. We also watched the second Conan together. And that was not as good. That was not great, but there was a couple scenes that make it worth it. What else do we have here? Ethan Edwards says, John Milius, the director of Conan, is a pretty nutty guy. He sounded like it. He definitely sounded like it. And him talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger was one of the best conversations I've ever eavesdropped on. Oh, Brown Bunny, thank you for this. Follow-up to their question earlier. DJ, movies from Kane. Megalopolis. Yeah, I said that right. I've actually heard of that one. That's a big one. I'm interested in that one. Francis Ford Coppola. Oh, Canada from Paul Schrader. Interesting. Paul Schrader's still doing work. That's really cool. I'm about to watch his film The Touch, or just Touch, right after we finish Musical May. I just got that cinematograph release. Shrouds by Cronenberg, and then this controversial splatter horror, The Substance, starring Demi Moore. Yeah, I've only heard of a couple of those, so thank you for that. I'll have to look into those. I'm also looking forward to Good old, what's his face's new film? Who directed, the Emma Stone. He always uses Emma Stone. What is his name? He's coming out with a new film this year, and I'm excited to check out his movie as well, which seems very quick. Didn't he just do a movie? He just did a movie last year. Maybe that one got postponed, and that's why he's got another movie coming out. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm not really excited for any like the big blockbusters coming out this year. I'm going to see Apes. I am going to see Apes, probably. But yeah, I'm excited to check out some of those films. Thanks for those recommendations there. Kevin House, Mickey Rooney did a commentary for the Twilight Zone episode he starred in, and it's one long angry rant. Those are the best commentaries. When you get someone that's what that Red Rock West commentary basically was. What else do we got here? What else? Man, geez, there's a lot of people tonight. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everyone popping in. But the chat keeps like taking a while. There's like a lag, and then as soon as it loads, it goes shooting up to the top, and I lose it. Sorry if I don't get to all the comments tonight. There's a bunch. I'm trying to keep up with as much as I can. I'm trying to keep this to an hour and a half too. So we've got about 5 minutes left. So last call for questions here. Thank you for the great questions tonight. It's been a really interesting night. Gus says they also have Aliens on 4K on Disney Movie Club. I did see that as well. That one just one of the big ones that just came out that everybody's going crazy for. Jay Hutch says Mickey Rooney's whole life seemed like one long angry rant. That's very true, or at least up to at a certain point maybe. He has that grumpy old man vibe after a certain point. Let's see what else we've got. 123 Rock fan. I love Brad Bird's commentaries. Interesting. I don't think I've heard one of his. But yeah, I love those directors that consistently do commentaries. Jay Hutch, would you count Nashville as a musical? If so, it's my favorite, but it's definitely not a conventional musical. Yeah, when I was looking at lists for this month, a lot of people had that on their list in an unconventional musical way. I think All That Jazz is also a pretty unconventional musical. But yeah, Nashville even more so. Especially because, by all accounts, he was intending to make bad music with that movie. That was like the whole point of it. So he like commissioned bad country music. So yeah, that kind of hurts it if you're going into it expecting a musical. But that's all part of the movie and the point of it. But yeah, what else do we have here? Dan's Den. Those are classic special features. Making of short documentaries, talk about the movie, then show clips. Yeah, I know. I just don't like that format because I just watched the movie. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that watches them right after I watch the movie. Ethan Edwards also says he does dishes and cooks dinner while watching. I'm glad. I'm glad I'm in everybody's kitchen apparently. Does anybody have a TV in their kitchen that they're watching this on? Because that would be amazing. Does anyone have a TV in their kitchen just in general? I always think that's weird. I've never had a TV in my kitchen. Henry Bidenkamp, I wish the commentaries were also subtitled. I've only seen one supplement where they used a different font for the commentary aside from the film subtitles. I wish everyone did that. Yeah, commentaries are tricky. I've heard a couple like boutique labels talk about that on YouTube, like how hard it is to add subtitles. That's like a huge thing, and it adds to the cost because it just takes so much time, especially for commentaries and for supplements. I know a lot of boutique labels don't even do commentaries for supplements. Criterion just got a lot of backlash because their Eric Romer set doesn't have subtitles on the supplements, which they're in French, so you kind of have to have subtitles there. So that's crazy. I think they're doing a disc replacement for that. So maybe if you bought that set, maybe look that up so you can get those. Kevin House, agree that Duck Soup and Night at the Opera are the two best Marx Brothers films. And Duck Soup being Kevin's favorite. Yeah, I gotta get Night at the Opera. It has a separate Blu-ray release, but it's not in the box set I have. So I gotta grab that one. Also, I'm really interested to check out Night at the Circus because I love circuses. Jeffrey Patron, did you see TCM is doing another cocktail book based around pre-code movies this time? Ho! I did not, but I am gonna have to get that as a little present for my wife because she loves cocktails and she loves pre-code movies. That is a great gift idea. Thank you, Jeffrey. I'll have to look that one out. Ethan Edwards says Flash Gordon serials are a lot of fun. You could check those out with your kids. I would love to get more serials. I don't have any. I would love to get the Batman serials. I would love to get the Flash Gordon serials. There's a lot of serials I would like to get. I think Kino has a lot of those. Kino has some good releases for those. And you're the Kino guy, Ethan, so you let me know. You're always talking about Kino. Let's see. Christopher Chaffin here in the chat. Thanks for joining us. Another name I don't immediately recognize. Only if I really love the movie will I watch the bonus stuff. That's probably fair. Like I said, sometimes if I want to love a movie and I didn't have the best experience, I'll look for something in the supplements to tune me in, to get me on the right wavelength to appreciate the movie more. But yeah, obviously the ones I watch the most are the movies that I really like. Yorgos Lanthimos, thank you so much, Ethan. Always coming in clutch with the things that I can't think of on the spot. I've watched YouTube my entire life, since I was like in high school. And I was the guy who was always like, in my mind, making fun of YouTubers when they couldn't think of things in videos or on live streams. And it's a real thing. Like when you're live, for whatever reason, all the information in your head just flies out the window and you can't think of anything when you're on the spot. Like if I was just talking to someone like in real life, it would be there. But like for some reason when you get on live, I don't know if it's like, I'm not nervous. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, I just can't think of things when I'm live. And I always thought that was an excuse when I was watching other YouTubers, but it's a real thing. And now I am experiencing that. It's kind of embarrassing. Brown Bunny, yes, says Yorgos Lanthimos. He debuted Kinds of Kindness at Cannes 2. Forgot about that one. Yeah, that might be the one, because I liked his movie last year was like my favorite movie of the year, or one of them, at least top 3. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But Dan's Den says Kinds of Kindness sounds far less mainstream than Poor Things or The Favorite. Interesting. That's not a negative for me, but we'll see. We'll see what I think about that one. By the way, did you know that Flash Gordon is in a movie called Ted? Yes. So one of the other 2 guys that I watched Flash Gordon with had seen Ted, and he was talking about that as we were watching, and he showed us some clips afterwards. But I haven't seen Ted. I'm not a huge comedy Seth MacFarlane kind of guy. But yeah, I know that there's like well, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. There's like a box set that they released. It's like a collection. It's like Ted 1, Ted 2, and Flash Gordon. It's like a really random trilogy of movies that you can get all in one box set. Internet user Lanthimos is going to make another film with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Yeah, is that the one? Is that Kinds of Kindness? Or are you talking about even another film after that? Maybe you're talking about another one. That dude is busy. He's been making a ton of stuff lately. Jeffrey Patron, there's a great Dana Carvey bit about how Mickey Rooney would bring up he was the biggest star in the world in like 1939. I still like him as Puck. Give me Mickey Rooney as Puck. Also Santa Claus. He also played stop motion Santa Claus. Ethan Edwards says the Circus Marx Brothers film is not great. Yeah, I know. I've heard. I've seen the Letterboxd score, but I'm still interested. Watch Guy, I suppose it doesn't constitute a musical, but the Coen Brothers' Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is excellent. Currently streaming on Hulu too, if you have that. I think we do. I think we have like the cheap version of Hulu that's like has ads, kind of annoying, but I think Grace uses it to watch some TV shows. So I have to check. That's been on my list forever. There's so many Coen Brothers movies that I still want to check out. That's towards the top. That might be the top of the ones I haven't seen that I want to see. Ethan Edwards, Kino serials to get. Adventures of Captain Marvel. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they had that. Daredevils of the Red Circle. Also, Les Vampires. Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one that everyone always tells me to check out, and I need to get that one. That one goes for a pretty penny these days. It's like it's a limited edition. It's out of print. It's got like a slipcase and everything. I've seen it on some of the groups, some of the Facebook groups, people selling it for a decent price, so I could probably get that. Some other Kino Lorber titles that aren't serials that I really want to get that also have those like limited edition box set slipcases are the films, is it Battleship Potemkin and Strike? There's like a double feature with those 2 films. I really want to get that as well. Ever since I watched The Passion of Joan of Arc, and they referenced in the supplements on that it was influenced by Russian, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Montage cinema, which was basically that same director with Battleship Potemkin, and they referenced a couple other ones. I've always wanted to watch those because I haven't seen much Russian cinema, especially from that period. I've seen some later stuff with like from Deaf Crocodile. But here we go. 123 Rock Fan, there are criterions where I'd like the films in the supplements more. Where I've liked the films in the supplements more, LOL. Interesting. So are you talking about, what are you talking about? Are you talking... I'm sorry, I don't understand that. Are you talking about like they reference other films in the supplements? Or they include other films in the supplements and they're better than the original? Maybe that's what you're talking about. That's probably what you're talking about. Watch Guy, say that because Oh Brother has a lot of great music in it. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured you were saying. All right, we're coming to the end here. Ethan says Eisenstein. Yes, that's the director of Strike and Battleship. Internet user, it's another film. I think it's a remake of a Korean film. Okay, sweet. So that's another film that Yorgos is making. So 3 films in 3, or maybe not. Maybe it won't come out next year, but it is pretty true. Kevin says, true about At the Circus, but Groucho singing Lydia, the Tattooed Lady is a classic scene. Yeah, I want to see it anyway. I know it's not one of their bests, but I still want to see it. So I think we're wrapping it up. We are good. Ethan says there's a Pudovkin set 2, as well as Siga Fortov 1, 2 other great Russian silent masters. Yeah, I'd love to get into that. I like silent cinema, and the Russians are apparently very influential on silent cinema. So I think we're getting to the end of the stream. I'm starting to slur my words, not because I'm drunk, but because I've been talking nonstop for 1 hour and 35 minutes. I recommend this sometime. Try doing this because it's not as easy as it looks. I wish I had a chat moderator or a guest or something to kind of talk a little bit, because I've been rambling nonstop for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I'm probably not going to have a voice tomorrow. But it's been a fun show. Thank you guys so much. I really enjoy talking to you guys. I'm actually considering, because I'm a madman, and I actually don't know how good these live streams are for the channel. Like I said, we've kind of been losing subscribers and kind of killing any momentum that we had. So I don't know if these are good for the channel. Maybe they're bad, but I really enjoy doing them. So I guess I'm going to keep doing them. But I don't know if it's recommended for a channel as small as me to do a live stream every single week. It might be turning some people off. I don't know. But I'm going to continue to do them. You guys are the best. I love talking to you guys. We had a huge crowd tonight, so thank you guys so much. And I'm considering, because I'm crazy, doing another live stream this week. I'm considering doing one this Friday. It is going to be like a very late live stream. It's going to be a countdown to something. I don't want to spoil it yet, but it should be a lot of fun. It's going to be very late. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make it. Probably for my West Coast people, but it's Friday, so maybe you can stay up later. So stay tuned. I will let you guys know what that live stream is going to be on Friday. Some of you could probably figure it out if you're like physical media collectors. But anyway, that was a great show. Thank you guys so much. Everybody's saying goodbye. Brown Bunny, Jay Hutch, Watch Guy, Jeffrey Patron. Thank you guys so much for all of your great comments and for listening to me ramble on about new and upcoming releases and everything else physical media related. Really enjoyed this stream. We are, wow, already past 10:30. I don't know if I'll be able to work on any other videos tonight because that was quite a long one, but thank you guys again. I've said thank you a million times. Sorry. Let's just go ahead and wrap it up. I'll give you my usual sign off. Until next time, keep collecting, and I will be back with another video tomorrow morning about physical media packaging. Stay tuned. See you guys.